Jacob wasn't asked. He just showed up one day. Cut the grass outside a wounded veteran's house, inspired by his late grandfather, a soldier killed in battle. He skipped class to keep mowing until the school kicked him out. No diploma, no plan. The veteran never waved, just watched from his wheelchair beneath a flag flown at half-mast. Then one morning, an Apache helicopter appeared and dropped a military duffel bag on the lawn. What was inside would change Jacob's life forever. Hello and welcome back to Legendary Stories. Let's dive right in and get started. Jacob Miller was 16, quiet kid, kept to himself, lived with his mom in a rented house next to the old water tower. Every morning he looked at a photo on his dresser. His grandfather, Sergeant David Miller, Army, Bronze Star, killed overseas before Jacob was born. But still the biggest presence in his life. His old dog tags hung beside Jacob's bed. One night he noticed something carved into the back of them, just 3 letters, and a date. He didn't know what they meant. Not yet. At school, Jacob was quiet, not dumb, not lazy, just gone. Some mornings he didn't show at all, absent, again. He wasn't acting out. Something bigger was pulling him. The house on Ridgeline Road. Everyone knew it. No one approached it. Where a flag hung at half-mast, and no one knew why. It hadn't moved in years, not for holidays, not for parades, just always. Half-mast. A wounded war veteran lived there. No name on the mailbox, just rumors in the wind. They called him the Old Man. Said he was dangerous. But Jacob didn't believe gossip. So while his classmates took notes, Jacob pulled the cord on his mower and went to work. No one asked him to. No one thanked him. But every week he was back. He'd pull the mower down Ridgeline Road, engine coughing, tires squealing, always just enough gas to make it there. Jacob noticed the longer he mowed, the more the house began to speak. Not with words, but with whispers. It started with the boots. 2 pairs, always on the porch, side by side, perfectly placed, even in the rain, even in the snow. But only one man lived there, 1 pair, scuffed brown leather, the other, black, combat issue. They hadn't moved, not once. Then the porch light, a dim bulb above the door, never on in the day, never left burning overnight. But every evening at exactly 7 p.m., it flicked on, sharp and sudden, like a ritual. Jacob thought maybe it was on a timer, but something about it felt personal, like it meant something to someone. Then there was the window, left of the door behind a faded curtain. A single photo sat on the sill, yellowed by sun, edges curled, too distant to make out clearly. But sometimes, when the light hit just right, Jacob saw a soldier. Not the old man, younger, with a sharp jaw and quiet smile. He couldn't be sure, so he didn't ask, just wondered. One day his mower blade nicked the base of the flagpole. He got down on one knee, brushed away the grass, and there it was, carved deep into the wood. 3 letters, a date, circled in what looked like red paint, old, chipped, but still there. The same 3 letters Jacob had seen on the back of his grandfather's dog tags. But it couldn't be. Could it? He stood up slowly, looked back at the porch. The man hadn't moved, still watching, still silent. Every question he asked only gave him 2 more. Why 2 pairs of boots? Why the light at exactly 7? Who was in that photo? And what did those letters mean? The house wasn't answering, but it was saying something. And Jacob? He wasn't walking away, not yet. Until one day, something changed. The porch was always quiet, always still. The old man never moved, never spoke, and he never got calls. That's why Jacob froze when the phone rang. Loud, sharp, like it didn't belong there, like the house was warning him. He watched from the yard as the old man reached for the receiver, paused, then answered. His voice was low, but not low enough. He's getting too close. If he keeps showing up, we'll need to act. Understood. Just wait for my signal. Click. Silence returned. But not in Jacob's head. His stomach twisted. He backed away from the porch, heart pounding louder than the mower still ticking beside him. The words kept ringing. If he keeps showing up, we'll need to act. Just wait for my signal. Jacob froze halfway down the walkway, one last glance over his shoulder. The porch was still, but his mind wasn't. He didn't come back the next day, or the day after that. He couldn't. Not after what he heard. Not with those words clawing at his thoughts. At school, they called him to the office. Second time this semester. His mom was already sitting there, eyes tired. The vice principal didn't waste time. You've missed 14 days. That's a pattern. We can't make exceptions anymore. A single page slid across the desk. Suspension, possibly expulsion. His mom didn't say much. She just stared down at the paper. Jacob walked out alone. Didn't go home. Just wandered. That night he sat on his bed, holding the dog tags again, felt the carved letters, stared at the date. And in the silence, something clicked. This wasn't just about lawn care. This was about his grandfather, about service, about truth. So the next morning he went back, hands shaking, stomach twisted. He just stood at the curb, looking. But this time, the porch was empty. The man was gone. Then Jacob saw it. Something small, but wrong. There'd always been 2 pairs of boots lined up beside the door. One worn and cracked, the other polished and still. Today, only one remained. His eyes locked on the empty spot. His breath caught, like he was too late, like something had ended without him. Jacob didn't sleep that night. He just waited. At 6:58 the next evening, he stood at the curb again, mower off, hands shaking. The porch was still, only 1 pair of boots, 1 flag still at half-mast. Something was off. Then, a sound. Low at first, like distant thunder, but getting louder. Jacob looked up. Trees swayed, wind picked up, and then the sky cracked open. An Apache helicopter in all steel and storm ripped over Ridgeline Road. It circled once, slow, deliberate. Then, from its belly, something dropped. A single duffel bag, military green, heavy. It hit the grass hard, right in front of the porch, right where Jacob had always cut the lawn. He ran, heart in his throat, dust kicking up behind him. The rotors faded, silence again. Jacob stood over the bag, his name, stitched in black across the side. He knelt, unzipped it. Inside, a folded American flag, clean, precise. Beneath it, a pair of polished black boots, the ones missing from the porch, and beneath them, a letter, sealed. He opened it. Jacob, you may never have worn the uniform, but you've shown the heart of a soldier. Your quiet service, done without recognition, without asking, and at great personal cost, speaks louder than medals ever could. In honor of your grandfather's sacrifice and your own unwavering character, the United States Army will proudly sponsor your GED and full college tuition. You remind us what duty, honor, and country truly mean. With deep respect, General Raymond S. Carter, Commanding General, U.S. Army. Jacob's eyes stung. His chest ached. Then, the screen door creaked, and for the first time ever, the old man rolled forward, out of the shadows, toward Jacob, toward the truth. The wheelchair rolled slow, gravel crunching beneath its wheels. The old man's face, tired, weathered, but clear. His eyes, they didn't dodge anymore. They met Jacob's, held. I served with him, he said, voice rough from disuse. Your grandfather. Jacob's breath caught. I don't understand. The man nodded once. You're not supposed to... yet. He looked down at the duffel, the flag, the letter still trembling in Jacob's hand. He saved my life. We were in the same unit, same convoy, same explosion. Silence. Only the wind answered. He pushed me out, the man continued. Took the blast full on, didn't hesitate, didn't run. He just Acted. Jacob swallowed hard. I came home. He didn't. He gestured behind him. To the porch. To the life I've lived since. This chair, that flag. All of it. Because he gave me a second chance. Jacob's eyes flicked to the porch. To the single pair of boots. Those boots. His, the man said quietly. They were his. Polished them every week like he'd show up to get 'em back. Jacob's voice broke. The photo in the window. David, the man said quietly. Your grandfather, 22. Just before deployment. He gave me that picture the night we shipped out. And the light? Jacob asked. Every night, 7 sharp. The man's throat moved. That was the time the blast hit. I made a promise. I'd never let that minute pass without remembering. Jacob blinked fast. The tears came anyway. And the carving. On the flagpole? The veteran gave a soft nod. He looked toward the flagpole. Your grandfather carved that into his tags. His way of leaving a mark behind. I copied it. Right here, on the pole. I needed it where I could still see it bend in the wind. Jacob looked down again at the letter. At the flag folded sharp. Precise. Sacred. You called in the helicopter, he said. A statement, not a question. The veteran's face cracked. A rare smile. Had a favor left to cash in. He nodded toward the duffel. You earned it. Not because you mowed the lawn, but because you showed up. Every week, no applause, no camera, just grit. Jacob stood frozen. He wanted to speak, but the words didn't come. The man leaned forward in his chair, laid a single hand on the bag. Your grandfather saved 1 soldier. You reminded the rest what one looks like. Jacob didn't mow that day. He just stood there. Flag in one hand, letter in the other. The man wheeled back to the porch, slow, steady. No longer just a rumor, no longer a ghost. That house on Ridgeline? It breathed again. The boots stayed. So did the light. But now it meant something more. Jacob helped him back inside. Didn't speak much. Didn't need to. Before Jacob left, the veteran reached beside his chair, lifted a wooden box, small, worn, but carefully kept. He handed it to Jacob with both hands. Inside, a stack of letters. Handwritten. Folded crisp. Correspondence between him and David. War letters. Brotherhood on paper. Beneath them, the photo from the window, and a velvet pouch holding 2 military pins. 1 silver, 1 bronze. The veteran's voice was low now, almost fading, but clear enough. One day, he said, you'll tell someone else what he meant. What we stood for. A pause. A breath. You're the story now, Jacob. He didn't go back to school. He went forward. A few weeks later, a letter came in the mail, official, GED schedule, tuition voucher, signed and sealed. His mom cried. He just nodded, quietly. Then one morning he took the mower out again. Same path, same sound. But this time, he wasn't just cutting grass. He was carving memories. If this story moved you, hit the like button and share it with someone who still believes in honor, sacrifice, and showing up. What detail stuck with you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more stories like this one, subscribe, because the next chapter might already be waiting on a porch somewhere.